As I said before, I say it again. If we can't protect our babies, then who can we protect? And I'm looking at the footage on CNN right now of what happened in Uvaldes, Texas, and the poor judgment and officers pretty much standing around not knowing what to do. And the lies that were told, just from the governor and of Texas, and saying that how they were responding when there's footage, the body cameras showing how these officers were standing around. These children could have been saved. There were enough cops there with enough guns. If they just would have used their training, or have they been trained? 911 dispatch gives a chilling account. What would they have done if that was their child's school? That's the question. If there was a commanding officer there on site, what would that officer have done if that was his child's school? How would the response would have been then? I talked about this numerous times, over and over again. And it's like, if we can't protect the babies, then who can we protect? Worst case scenario is unfolding. Officer Mendoza prepares for the trauma injuries. This is on CNN right now. I'm gonna let it play for a minute because this is a shame. Around the same time, on another camera, we hear Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo is inside attempting to negotiate with the shooter. Multiple cameras on these officers. Back in the hallway, Officer Mendoza preparing his med pack. It would still be about 25 minutes of confusion and hesitation until the door was breached. The body cam footage made public ends before we can see a hail of gunfire. This is sad, man. This is sad when you can't protect the babies. 7 minutes after the shooting began, law enforcement go in and kill the gunman.
I mean, this is the first time I'm seeing it. This is just stunning. You hear that officer early on. I mean, he knows what everybody should be doing. He says that we got to get in there. He knows.
One officer was ready to go in. He was going in. He wanted to go in. He is asking other officers, what we doing? What we gonna do? He's running in. He's running in. He's going in, and the other officers are just standing around. And it's like, are we serious here, man? What? Why you even show up?
Is there any sign on any of these tapes about?
Once again, it's like, if that was a commanding officer's child's school, how would the response been then?
It is, Anderson. It's hard to watch, you know.
You stand outside and you hear, you're an officer, you have, it's all of these guns, all of these bodies outside, officers outside. You hear, and they're even in the hallway of the school. They show one officer, he's just like dee, and he goes and get himself some hand sanitizer. What are you sanitizing your hands for, sir? You didn't even grab your gun. You didn't come to get dirty. How could you stand in there and hear gunshots with these children? That is sad. Sad, sad, sad.
But what happens here is that there is no leadership. There is no plan. No plan. And it's not until some time later where all of a sudden, and we don't know why, that's the other thing that investigators have not been able to figure out.
Yeah, I just also want to say, man, this gentleman here, he lost his daughter in Uvalde in the school shooting. God bless him and his family. And he talked about how all the families are pretty much coming together and consoling each other and speaking with each other and helping each other get through this time. And you wonder, like, with this happening to those parents, have they presented them with any
I think as parents
assistance
think that
as far as having someone
people,
to talk
release
to
information or keep
in this time,
information
especially all of this stuff
they're
that's
doing it for
going
us.
on, and
It's a complete lie. If they have information
it's
and they
amazing.
want to tell us as a family, then tell us as a family. Don't release it to the public. Don't, try to get recognition off of a situation like that, because that just humiliates us. Like, we lost our children. This isn't something that, somebody should be gaining anything off of.
You're about to go to the first school board meeting since your daughter Emery Jo was killed. What do you hope will happen there? What are you expecting?
That's his daughter. Sad, man.
I'm expecting actually
It's just
a lot of
peace and blessings to all the families,
angry
that's
parents.
grieving right now.
Apparently there
And
was
shame on
chances to fix
shame
the
on
system, fix the
Texas.
locks at least, and they were just
Their
ignored.
law enforcement down there in
A lot of
Uvalde, the
parents
way
are
it's been
very
handled.
upset
Shame,
about that.
shame on them.
I expect a lot of parents just to give them a piece of their mind, and hopefully they listen.
And he made a point.
So
He talked about the shooting, what happened down there
if they listen to us and
in
they
Illinois,
change,
and he talked about how,
give us some type of
we knew all the details
happiness.
before the week was
The
over
first day of the new school
with
year
that shooting
is
down there.
supposed to be 4 weeks from today. I understand it's going to be announced tonight that it won't be until September now.
But they're there in Uvalde, and their incident happened way before that situation, and they don't know anything. They're still in the dark.
I feel if anything, it's getting worse. The lack of knowledge, the lack of just, it seems like urgency. I mean, everybody says like this is gonna take time, but I mean, we're almost end of July. I mean, school's gonna be here before they know it, and nobody wants to send their children to school after this. I mean, who would want to send their children to school? Like, I sent Amory to school that morning thinking I was going to pick her up that day. So who's going to be comfortable enough to know that their child's going to be okay for them to pick them up that day?
Shame, man.
You have a son. Would you be sending him to school?
God bless his brother, man, right here, and his family, and all the families
As of right now,
that are affected by that
not going to be going to school right now.
tragedy.
That's something that
You look at this gentleman, your heart just gotta go out, man. And you just wondering, like, hey, are you guys even offering any mental counseling for these families?
Angel Garza, I really appreciate talking to you, and I wish your family continued strength in the days ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. There is one thing I want to add before I let you guys go. There's been a lot of confusion on the subject of Amory and her biological father. I'm not Amory's biological father. I've never claimed to be Amory's biological father. Amory has a biological father. When she knew she had a father, she loves him. I will never try to discredit anyone in this situation at all. I refer to myself as daddy because I earned that. She called me that. The morning I dropped her off, she said, "I love you, Daddy." That's the only reason I refer to myself as Daddy, because I've been with Kimberly since she was 8 months old, and she's lived with us the entire time. So I just wanted to clear up that for the air for anybody. I'm not trying to discredit anyone. I'm just a grieving stepfather.
I understand. That's certainly not a question we ever raised, but I understand maybe somebody did a long time ago, and I think it's very clear how your relationship. Angel Garza, thank you so much.
Thank you.